GA Real Estate Practice Questions Flashcards, 74 questions with explained answers. Flashcard 1. Term, which is true concerning the broker-tenant relationship. Definition, may assist the landlord in ministerial acts. Flashcard 2. Term, which brokers are exempt from the law requiring community association managers to carry fidelity insurance. Definition, those who never handle more than $60,000 at one time. Flashcard 3. Term, according to Brita, a broker engaged by a seller has the duty to present all offers to and from the seller. Definition, in a timely manner. Flashcard 4. Term, does a licensee have to disclose that he or she is a licensed real estate agent when selling his or her own home? Definition, yes, licensee must disclose on all contracts that they are licensed in real estate. Flashcard 5. Term, which of the following may be filed online? Definition, renewing licenses. Flashcard 6. Term, one broker is designated as the company's qualifying broker. Definition, a lapsed license requiring reinstatement and renewal fees. Flashcard 7. Term, a broker may allow commissions due the broker that are being paid from funds of others held in the broker's designated trust or escrow account to remain in the account under certain conditions. One condition is that the broker removes from the account the broker's funds that exceed the minimum necessary to comply with bank regulations. These must be removed. Definition, every month. Flashcard 8. Term, the type of organization which originally began with the common law idea of deed restrictions, or the idea that restrictions on ownership are able to be established by a contract, is known as. Definition, a homeowners association. Flashcard 9. Term, which of the following best describes a brokerage agreement? Definition, a written compensatory agreement between broker and seller. Flashcard 10. Term, if at any time the money deposited in the fund is insufficient to satisfy any claim, the Commission will later pay the past due monies, plus accumulated interest. Definition, at the rate of 4% a year. Flashcard 11. Term, any time there is a conflict between the broker's duty not to give false information and the broker's duty of confidentiality to the owner, the duty. Definition, not to give false information to a customer always prevails. Flashcard 12. Term, since 1997, Georgia real estate license law has made it mandatory for blank to hold a real estate license. Definition, someone engaged in community association management. Flashcard 13. Term, the Commission does not have the authority to. Definition, impose a prison sentence. Flashcard 14. Term, concerning abandoned trust funds dispersal, which of the following is true? Definition, a licensee may disperse funds if in compliance with the Disposition of Unclaimed Property Act. Flashcard 15. Term, who would not be exempt from the CAM licensing requirements under Georgia law. Definition, a person that provides CAM services for multiple associations, and is not a member of those associations. Flashcard 16. Term, under Brita, a tenant's broker must disclose to a prospective landlord. Definition, all material facts in a timely manner. Flashcard 17. Term, which of the following is true pertaining to possible trust account violations? Definition, which of the following is true pertaining to possible trust account violations? Flashcard 18. Term, blank the money or other property of the licensee's principals with the licensee's own is a violation of GA license law. Definition, commingling. Flashcard 19. Term, which of the following is true regarding the rules governing escrow accounts? Definition, a portion of the deposit may be transferred to the broker for commission payment. Flashcard 20. Term, what is the name of the Georgia law that governs the agency relationships of brokers with sellers, buyers, landlords and tenants of rights and interests in real property? Definition, Brita. Flashcard 21. Term, which is correct concerning an original license activation? Definition, individual and firm applicants must pay an activation fee and renewal fee. Flashcard 22. Term, which of the following describes the property management licensing exemption? Definition, when any individual employed by a broker assists in property management services on residential property. Flashcard 23. Term, any licensee who does not give equal service to anyone because of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, familial status, or handicap is in violation of. Definition, Georgia Fair Housing Law and Federal Fair Housing Law. Flashcard 24. Term, which of the following activities does not fall under the heading of unfair trade practices? Definition, acting as a dual agent under any condition. Flashcard 25. Term, a common community association manager duty is. Definition, to hire and supervise clerical employees. Flashcard 26. Term, which of the following disclosures are not required under Brita? Definition, that the broker has a duty to disclose any personal opinions to clients. Flashcard 27. Term. The Georgia Fair Housing Law is enforced by the definition, Georgia Commission on Equal Opportunity. Flashcard 28. Term. It is permitted under Georgia law for a licensee who is affiliated with a broker to hire unlicensed support personnel to assist the affiliated licensee in the conduct of the real estate brokerage business. When this occurs, it is essential to realize that, definition, both the firm and the affiliated licensee are responsible for the acts of the support personnel. Flashcard 29. Term. The community association manager must, definition, prepare and submit a budget. Flashcard 30. Term. Which of the following is true regarding client confidentiality versus conveying false customer information? Definition. The broker's duty to not give out false customer information must always prevail. Flashcard 31. Term. If an associate licensee owns rental property, which of the following is applicable according to Georgia law? Definition. Must deposit any security or trust funds into a broker-designated trust account. Flashcard 32. Term. Qualifying for non-resident licensure in another state. Definition. Both brokers and associate brokers may serve as the qualifying broker with multiple licensed firms. Flashcard 33. Term. Which of the following is true concerning the qualifying broker's death? Definition. The entity must secure a new qualifying broker within 60 days. Flashcard 34. Term. Which is true concerning a non-resident licensee applying for a Georgia license? Definition. Must submit proof of current licensure from the applicant's state of residence. Flashcard 35. Term. Which of the following disciplinary actions cannot be imposed by the Commission? Definition. A fine of $10,000 for a single violation. Flashcard 36. Term. Under which condition might the Commission choose to extend a renewal without the licensee having to pay the required fees? Definition. A licensee living in a designated disaster area suffers uninsured damage to his home. Flashcard 37. Term. Under BRITA, a broker who performs services for a client owes that client or customer. Definition. Only the duties and obligations within this law, unless the parties expressly agree otherwise in writing and signed by the parties. Flashcard 38. Term. Which is true concerning the rules governing misleading advertising? Definition. The discovering licensee must immediately take steps to stop the advertising until in compliance. Flashcard 39. Term. Once all the appropriate steps have been taken, the aggrieved party can apply to the court for an order directing the payment out of the real estate education, research, and recovery fund of the amount unpaid upon the judgment, with how many days written notice to the Commission? Definition. 10 days. Flashcard 40. Term. One of the responsibilities of Commission members is to, definition, monitor the availability of licensure to the public. Flashcard 41. Term. A licensee on inactive status who changes his or her address must notify the Commission of the new address. Definition. Within 30 days. Flashcard 42. Term. If the Commission must make a payment from the fund in the settlement of a claim or judgment against a licensee. Definition. That licensee's license will be automatically revoked. Flashcard 43. Term. In terms of its investigative functions. Definition. Commission may hire qualified outside help only for needed special expertise or circumstances. Flashcard 44. Term. Once a salesperson has been issued his original license, he or she must satisfactorily complete a mandatory blank course of post-license study. Definition. 25-hour. Flashcard 45. Term. A licensee making unrealized promises to a prospect is an example of, definition, unfair practice. Flashcard 46. Term. The innkeeper's exemption is characterized by, definition, a written agreement with owner involving occupancy not exceeding 90 days. Flashcard 47. Term. Examples of readily available public records for review by prospective renter would include, definition, plat maps, zoning ordinances, and flood maps. Flashcard 48. Term. Which of the following is true concerning dual agency? Definition. It must be by written consent by all parties to a transaction. Flashcard 49. Term. It is mandated under Georgia law that, definition, it is mandated under Georgia law that. Flashcard 50. Term. Under Georgia law, brokers are required to keep a true and correct copy of all sales contracts, closing statements, any offer or other document that resulted in the depositing of trust funds for, definition, 3 years. Flashcard 51. Term. Under Georgia law, advertising regulation, definition, covers all media including the Internet. Flashcard 52. Term. Brokers must notify the Commission of the name of the bank in which each trust account is maintained and each account's name or number within how long of opening each account. Definition. 1 month. Flashcard 53. Term. The Commission's disciplinary authority includes, definition, requiring periodic accounting reports related to trust violations. Flashcard 54. Term, which statement is correct concerning responsibility for discovering and divulging adverse material facts? Definition: obtaining information about the physical condition of the property rests with the broker, landlord, and tenant. Flashcard 55. Term, brokers are required to review all brokerage agreements and contracts within blank. Definition: 30 days. Flashcard 56. Term, which of the following is false regarding property management agreements? Definition: the property management agreement does not have to be in writing to be enforceable. Flashcard 57. Term, unlicensed support personnel are permitted to perform. Definition: a salesperson or associate broker may. Flashcard 58. Term, the Commission cannot use any of the funds from new licensee payments to the Real Estate Education, Research and Recovery Fund or from the accrued interest earned on the fund to. Definition: pay real estate lobbyists. Flashcard 59. Term, which is true concerning the Commission chairperson? Definition: he is appointed by the Commission members annually. Flashcard 60. Term, which of the following are Brita facts that apply to the liability of brokers engaged by landlords? Definition: a broker does not have a duty to discover any potential adverse facts affecting either the neighborhood or subject property. Flashcard 61. Term, which of the following is true of trust accounts of brokers in Georgia? Definition: the license law in Georgia requires that all real estate licensees deposit all funds or place any valuables held on the behalf of others in a trust account. Flashcard 62. Term, which of the following is true regarding ministerial acts performed by the seller's broker for the buyer? Definition: performing ministerial acts for the buyer cannot be construed to form a brokerage engagement with the buyer. Flashcard 63. Term, agency can best be described as. Definition: a written representation agreement between broker and client. Flashcard 64. Term, Brita requires the broker to disclose which of the following to a prospective tenant? Definition: all material facts within 1 mile of the subject property. Flashcard 65. Term, which of the following is true regarding earnest money accounts? Definition: earnest money may be deposited into interest-bearing accounts if the contract so stipulates. Flashcard 66. Term, concerning the Georgia licensing exam, which of the following is true? Definition: a passing grade of 75% or higher is required. Flashcard 67. Term, which of the following is commonly delegated to the community association manager? Definition: conducting membership meetings for the association. Flashcard 68. Term, which of the following actions may the courts impose related to housing discrimination? Definition: punitive damages to the aggrieved for willful misconduct. Flashcard 69. Term, the minimum balance of the recovery fund must be at least. Definition: $1 million. Flashcard 70. Term, when is it permissible for a broker to maintain the broker's own funds in a designated trust or escrow account? Definition: only when the funds are clearly identified as the broker's deposit and only for specific purposes, such as paying bank fees or maintaining a minimum balance in accord with the bank's policies. Flashcard 71. Term, the relationship between a licensee and the broker can. Definition: either be that of an employer-employee or an independent contractor. Flashcard 72. Term, regarding community association management, a broker terminating a management contract must deliver required records to the community association within how many days of the termination, unless the contract provides otherwise? Definition: 30 days. Flashcard 73. Term, signing a consent to jurisdiction form relates to. Definition: qualifying for non-resident licensure in another state. Flashcard 74. Term, which is true concerning a lapsed license? Definition: the license must be immediately surrendered to the Commission.